Hopefulness 2.0, August 16th. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you might call lifestyle creep. 15 bottles of kombucha, all for about $2.50 a piece, which is awesome. And I'm going to drink one of these gingerberries because they're delicious. All of these flavors, all 5, you got gingerberry, cosmic cranberry, trilogy, ginger aid, and guava goddess. There's more that GT's has, but for whatever reason, Amazon Fresh, who happened to be the cheapest option at the time when I was looking for some, they just didn't have any. So, such is life. I've been consuming this stuff at work. I'll go to the Ralph's that's down the street. I'll buy, a couple bottles. Maybe doing it 2 at a time's better. I don't want to, like, accidentally just drop a ton of shit and, have them break and not be worth the money that I spent on them and all that. Yeah. I would say the 2 that I like the most are, hard to choose, but I would say, and also because they're pretty regularly available, the trilogy and the gingerberry. Almost everything that they have consists of, kiwi juice. Like their GT's kombucha drink mix always has black tea, green tea, kiwi juice, black tea, green tea, kiwi juice, and then you'll see the other stuff like raspberry juice, lemon juice, and then some fresh pressed ginger juice. This one is ginger and blueberry, but it has the kiwi juice in it too. So the kiwi, I don't know what it does. I like kiwi too, so that helps. In the process of getting me some bread to go up in temp. I'm not sure if I should probably pizza it up instead of bread it up, just so that I have some pizza. It's so good. Good little tang to it. It's just sweet enough, but it's not like sweet. It's 50 calories for the whole bottle. And something that I really didn't, I picked up on it, but I wasn't really thinking about it until recently. It's one of the few things that keeps me from being hungry. Like, if I mostly just drink, like, the reason I called it lifestyle creep is because, it's not cheap. $2.40 is, I think it was $2.40 before the bottle tax, which is 5 cents. But ooh, that felt good. I'm gonna get my other dough out and kind of push that down on him. Welcome to the mind of a person with ADHD. like it's been almost a whole week, if not roughly, if not exactly a week, I don't know. It may have been last Tuesday when I made this dough. It reminds me of the Cowboy Bebop episode where Spike has the Ganymede rock lobster in his fridge. When he opened it up, it was all like stretchy, and he was like, "Nope, never mind. No, I'm just gonna toss that out into space." Toys in the Attic, I believe, is the name of the episode. But yeah, kombucha's not cheap. I'd like to make some, but at the moment, it's really not something I could probably do well. I would need more time than I currently have, because I'm spending an hour plus getting to and from work, plus all the prep and everything else. So I don't know why I did all that, because I was gonna do this, but actually, well, I'll do this first, and then I'll get the bowl scraper. So you need to be able to like deflate this at some point, especially before you use it, because then you're reintroducing the yeast to the various sugars and such. This is the first time I've used this specific bench scraper. I haven't needed to use it on anything yet. And it's doing a pretty decent job considering, so. Bowl scraper, it's curved. I've definitely used plenty of times. Because it's curved, and so it works with the curvature of the bowl, and scrape the shit out of stuff. This fridge keeps things pretty fucking cold too, so I'm not too awful concerned about it, stuff being in there for too long for the most part. And so now what I've essentially done is I've taken the yeast, and it was like, oh, I didn't have a whole lot of food to eat. I had some, shut up. I had some food to eat, and then now I have more food to eat because it's still in there. This morning, I had the energy in me, and going back to ginger beer, or not ginger beer, ginger berry, whatever, kombucha. Oh man. Back in like 2020, 2021, when I was getting a lot of money from unemployment, and I was able to save up and stuff. I bought a lot of kombucha because, like, when I was working at iHeart, we had like a little convenience store inside the building, and kombucha was an option that was there sometime, or it was there pretty frequently, but it was expensive. It was like $4 a bottle. And so one day I was like, I'm just gonna try this stuff out. And I got the pomegranate flavored Health Aid kombucha, and I really liked it. It was really good. And it's like 80 calories for the bottle. And, so whenever I felt like I had a little bit extra to play with, I buy a bottle. And then, I got laid off and started making even more money. I was making more money then than I am now when I'm full-time at 40 hours a week. My last paycheck was the biggest paycheck I've had in a long time, but it was only $1,000 compared to $1,200 that I was getting from government. So because I was getting whatever it was, the 300 from, I don't remember. I was getting 600 a week, which is just awesome. And so I was saving up money. I was experimenting with foodstuffs and whatnot, and that was when I got more kombuchas. And then I started listening to Zach and Donald on the Scrubs podcast, and they were talking about GT's kombucha, and I was like, well, whenever the time comes, I guess I'll try some out. And then I saw some that was on sale via delivery, so I got some. Turns out I liked it, and then they had more and more, and they have way more choices. And so it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. You know? I like this stuff. And it would go on sale often enough where I could buy... normally what would happen is I would buy like... I buy like 2 batches in a week, roughly. Because as I always get close to diminishing the first batch, then I'm buying another batch. That way, I had like basically a week kombucha. And while I wasn't super fully aware then, as I am now, I was able to discern that, yes, it kind of staves off my hunger, which is really cool. But it wasn't until more recently that I noticed that, because I've been gaining a little bit of weight, like close to 10 pounds since I started working at the new job. Obviously, you know, various breads and stuff and cookies and shit, probably not helping. And then, you know, just with the sleeping and the antidepressant meds and everything else, it's probably not, you know, super conducive. But in the last couple weeks, I kind of slowly started incorporating kombucha back into my life because I had a little extra cash. And I was like, Now, I haven't weighed myself yet. But I've also noticed that I haven't been eating nearly as much. And I like that a lot. Because the flip side is, let's say you get a 12-ounce can of soda. Doesn't matter which one. 95% of the time, they're going to be 120 calories a piece for a whole can. And it's not going to be filling. Like, it's not going to have a satisfaction, a satiation, that's the word I was looking for. It's not going to create any level of satiety. And because of that, you're going to drink more, because high fructose corn syrup starts to digest in your mouth. And because you have amylase, which is an enzyme that breaks down amylose. And amylose is a common carbohydrate that's in all kinds of shit. And when it starts to break down in your mouth, your gut has less effort to put into it. So it's one of the reasons why, like, you can eat a whole fucking bag of chips with no problem, because your mouth, with the chewing and the dissolution, but also the breaking down via amylase, helps to make it to where by the time it gets to your gut, you're not producing what's known as ghrelin. I believe that's the proper term. If I'm not mistaken, and if I am, I will connect it. I will correct it. That's the word I was going with. I will correct it in the comments. But ghrelin, as far as I can remember, again, if I'm wrong, whatever, is produced when you're not hungry anymore. Or, well, it's produced to basically slow down your eating. But it's largely produced when your stomach starts to get full and it has, you know, certain things going on. Well, oh God. Carb-rich foods aren't going to have a high production of ghrelin. A food that has what is known as a high glycemic index, which basically just means it takes longer to digest, those will produce the ghrelin, or the opposite, whatever it is, if I'm wrong. But I mean, you know, like pasta, for instance, has a relatively high glycemic index. But pasta still isn't something that you want to consume to not be hungry, because you're gonna be hungry again pretty soon, because it's made of highly processed carbs, and so it's really difficult. And when I mean processed, I don't mean, like the scary process. I mean, we're talking refined particulate matter, flour, powder, but it's food powder. That's why like sugar in the raw is typically better than white sugar, because it's bigger grains. It's gonna take longer for your body to break down. Not much. It's still fucking sugar. That's why brown rice is better. It's why oats are better. It's why I have all this stuff in the house too. I have oats. I have brown rice. I've got, peanut butter's okay because it does have sugar in it, and it is a highly processed stuff. But I mean, it's got a lot of protein and fat in it, which both help produce ghrelin. My guess is this does too. I don't know. But it also doesn't have a ton of calories. So even if I drank 10 of these in a day, which would be really difficult because the bulk of it is also a thing, we're dealing with an entire pint of liquid. Drinking 10 pints of liquid is hard for a human to do in a day. It's doable for some, like competitive eaters. But beyond that, the average person ain't gonna be able to drink that. But that would only be 500 calories. That's like 2 candy bars, which can both fit in this bottle. I mean, with a little effort, but still. So you have bulk, i.e. a pint of liquid that's flavored, which has a low caloric total, only 50 calories, and for whatever reason, it seems to slow down my hunger. It tastes better. Look, I'm not here to sell GTs or Health Aid or any other kombucha. I'm simply talking about it because it works for me. Now, people talk about probiotics, and it says it on the bottle, and it's supposed to be healthy and blah, blah. I don't fucking know. And a lot of people don't fucking know. A lot of people claim it will. And that's also another factor. Maybe if you drink more kombucha, you just produce more ghrelin, so you eat less, so you lose less, you lose weight. I don't know. There's correlation, I'm sure, that's associated. And obviously, a 16-ounce bottle of a 50-calorie drink is better than a 12-ounce can of a 120-calorie drink. And I know, and also I don't pee as often. I still pee more than if I didn't drink it, but like I don't pee nearly as often as if, let's say, I were drinking a bunch of sodas. And I've also noticed that I pee less often when I have filtered water versus when I have unfiltered water. I pee much more frequently when I have unfiltered water, which is why I'm glad I'm getting some more of this money, because I'm gonna I'm gonna get some more water filters so that I can start drinking more filtered water at home again. Because it's just, I pee too damn much. I don't like it. And it's not as refreshing because, I can stick it in the fridge, but it's still not as refreshing. Like, straight out of the fucking filter, I would rather drink warm filtered water than cold unfiltered water. So, it's about lifestyle changes, diet. Because, I'm 40, going on 41. I got less than a month and a half. And obviously I got to do stuff to make myself somewhat healthier. I'm trying to do that mentally. Obviously eating a shit ton of fucking cookies and stuff isn't a deal, but it's not like I said to myself, I'm going to make cookies as often as possible. It was like, I'm going to make these cookies and I want to see. And and then they were good. And then I was like, I'm gonna make some more cookies, and then I'm gonna give some to the people at work. And then I'm like, well, I want to make some more cookies because I'm getting close to the end of it all, and I still need to give a couple of cookies to some people at work, and so I did that too, but I ate a bunch of them as well. And then I have like one more batch worth of chocolate, and then that's probably gonna be it. You know? I should probably I think I'll just turn this into a bread instead of a pizza. I can just eat the cheese from the pizza. So once I'm done with this video, I'll just turn on the oven and have it preheat. You know, I'm trying to be reasonable with the dough too. I'm not using only AP flour, which has less protein in it. It's basically just more carbs, but it makes for, you know, lighter, fluffier bread, because then the yeast has something to eat, and it has a lot to eat, and it's easier for the yeast to digest as well, so it creates more gas. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what inherent health benefits there are when it comes to kombucha, if any. But there are some peripheral health benefits that are pretty obvious once you think about what they really are. Drinking a small calorie drink. I mean, water's better, of course. But water doesn't make me less hungry either. So whatever's going on with the kombucha, I'm getting a refreshing, bubbly drink that's flavorful, it's sweet, but it's not super sweet. And it makes me eat less overall. It makes me less likely to want to eat. At least that's what my current observations are for myself. I don't know. And the reason they called it, you know, lifestyle creep, because obviously it's expensive. You know, these bottles are usually $4. And, you know, $2.40 is still kind of pricey. But goddamn, are they fucking delicious. Oh, man. And, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, if I was making twice as much money, I mean, if I could, my refrigerator would be permanently stocked with kombucha. Probably GTs, and maybe some Health Aid as well, since there's some of them that I like. But it would be a regular thing. Just because, like, it's all of those things and more. So yeah, kombucha time. I got 14 left after I'm done with this one. I'm gonna try not to drink more than like 3 a day, which is totally easy for me to do. But I've given myself permission to at least have 2. To not beat myself up if I go more than 2, but to stop at 3 once I have my 3rd. And that's obviously between wake and sleep, you know, because I don't know what a fucking day is anymore. Yeah.